Aloha, this is Tim here. I'm here for part 3 of the Living in Paradise series, where I'm going through different parts of why living in Oahu, in Hawaii, is such an awesome thing that more people should do. More people should move out here and start businesses here and work in Oahu. I think it's a great island, a great place to live, and I've gone over the nature stuff, the weather stuff, in part 1 and 2, and I'll go back to that in future parts. But in this part, I just want to tackle part 1 of a continuing series of the price, the cost of living here. In today's short part, I'm going to just be covering the price of gasoline, how it compares to the rest of the United States. Hawaii is often thought of as the most expensive place because of the import nature of an island. And this part, I'm going to dispel that myth mostly. So here we have different prices of places in the United States, right? This first screen here is of Kaka'ako. Kaka'ako is the pronunciation there. Kaka'ako. So this is where I now live, the zip code where I now live. And you can see 432, 433, and 435. And it's very gradual going forward there. So one thing I noticed when I came here from Los Angeles, from Hollywood is from where I moved, zip code 90038 was my previous address, and I noticed that gasoline prices were about 10 to 20 cents more expensive in LA, in Hollywood, from what they were out here. And I just did a price check to see if I was right with that. So 432, and I was mostly accurate with that, actually. So you can see 429 is the low end, but immediately after that, you'll see, and also you'll see it's 440 around there. But you also see the 7 hours ago update versus 30 minutes ago. So the trend now in Hollywood is actually around 440 going up to 450. That's kind of the price range, 440 to 450. Now out here, it's 430 to 440 as the average price range. So you'll see about 10 cents more on the average. So that's something to note, that Los Angeles actually has more expensive gasoline prices than Honolulu, this island out here. So that myth that, Honolulu, or I guess it's not pronounced that way, but Honolulu in Oahu is actually not that much more expensive, especially when you compare it to the West Coast. So the West Coast, when you compare it to Hawaii, is actually cheaper for gasoline. And again, moving forward from San Francisco, it's a little bit more expensive, but as you can see, it quickly gets in that same price range of 430 to 440. So very similar prices in San Francisco. Seattle, you get a price break there, but it's not too bad. Once you get back out to Chicago, though, you're about in the same price ballpark, 427 versus a 429. So 2 cents lower start average, but around the same prices as Chicago. And one thing I found really interesting was the prices out in Boston and New York. The East Coast, it's relatively cheap for prices, which I found kind of bizarre. So there you go. The myth of higher price points because you live on an island, I hope for the most part, is dispelled here, with Los Angeles being the prime example of where I moved from as having higher cost in gasoline. And also just pointing out that Chicago and San Francisco and probably many other cities I didn't even tackle in this video have very similar prices. It is not more expensive to live here from a gasoline, from filling up your car standpoint, than any other major United States city. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, all of that included. Around the same or even more expensive as I found in Hollywood. So thanks for watching this part. I'll be tackling other pricing scenarios in future parts in this Living in Paradise series that I'm now doing. Thanks for watching. Please check out my daily Apple News show, I Wake, over at iwakepodcast.com. It's my main gig. I do this one for fun, as I just moved here and am now working out of Oahu. So thanks again. I'll talk to everyone again real soon. Aloha.